let's go back to our favorite novel, Martial God Asura. Hey everybody, Deathblade here, also known as Jeremy Bai. I am here with another Chinese fantasy novel FAQ video, but in this one it's going to be a little different. Instead of me answering the question, I'm going to ask the question and ask for you to answer it in the comments below. Burnout. Have you experienced it? Have you burned out on a specific Chinese fantasy novel or series? Have you dropped one? Have you burned out and dropped the entire genre altogether? Cultivation novels, xianxia, whatever you want to call it. Wuxia, some people still use wuxia to describe all Chinese fantasy novels. Whatever term you use, I'm curious your experience and your thoughts. Please do leave them in the comments below. Share this video places so we can get more people to comment. I would love to see a thriving comment section with different opinions, and I'm going to look forward to checking out all those comments as they come in. Now, it's not as though I don't have a take on this. I would like to direct your attention to this tweet that I put up a couple weeks ago. March 6th is when I put it up, and I'm recording this video on March 19. I'm not sure when exactly I'm going to edit and release it. I'll zoom in on the screenshot here. It's from my Discord server, which incidentally, if you use Discord, please feel free to come hang out with us on Discord. I'll put the link in the description below. We have quite a few different channels where we chat. Everything's pretty relaxed. And somebody mentioned this. They said, I stopped reading Tales of Demons and Gods in 9th grade at chapter 460. I have graduated high school as of last year. There are 493 chapters. And if you scroll down through the different comments here, you can see a lot of stuff where people talk about dropping it. For instance, loved reading it, implying that it's no longer being read. I dropped it as well. The novel's still alive. I lost faith in Mad Snail, that's the author, even before the super slow rate, etc., etc. And going through, there's quite a few comments, and a lot of people said basically the same kind of thing, that they dropped the novel. And I decided to do another quick thing, which was I went to the front page of wuxiaworld. Here we are at wuxiaworld, and this is a popular this week section. It used to be the top 10. Now, looking at these novels, if we leave out the Korean novels, we have some old favorites that have been around for a long time. Emperor's Domination, 9-star hegemon body art, Martial God Asura. This one's Korean, so we'll skip that. Going to, here we have Invincible, also been around for a while. Korean. Keyboard Immortal is a little bit more new. Here's Against the Gods, another old school one. So I look at each of those. If we go through, here's Against the Gods. I didn't have them in the same order as the front page, but Against the Gods, scrolling down, currently volume 19 up to chapter about 1900. Here we have Emperor's Domination, and it is currently up to chapters well over 4,000. 4299 is the latest one on the table of contents. Here we have 9-star hegemon body art, which is up to also in the 2000s, 2600. Here we have Martial God Asura, which is currently over chapter 5000. Invincible, which is up into the chapter 2844 area, which is kind of weird because this is volume 14 and it's listed chapter 1810 to 1913, and it's currently up to 2800, so I have no idea what's going on there. And here is Almighty Sword Domain, which is currently up to, wow, just hit chapter 2000. Congratulations to Invader, who is the translator for that, for hitting 2000. I didn't even realize that. I'll head back here and leave it on, where is it? Everybody's favorite, Martial God Asura. I'll leave it there so we can all have a view of that. I tweeted about Martial God Asura again recently. I didn't dig that tweet up, but I think a lot of people also said the same thing, that they had dropped it, burned out on it. And so I am curious what your take is. Again, please let me know what you think. Have you dropped the series, or have you dropped the entire genre in general? Have you dropped something, whether it's a series or the genre, and then picked it up again later? I personally have not read a lot of Chinese fantasy outside of what I've translated. I've mentioned this on the channel before, that in the early days, nobody was really reading or talking about this stuff, and a lot of time has passed since then, and I think there are many, many people out there who are much more well-read than I am within these genres. So I was reading this kind of stuff for fun before I translated it, but honestly, there wasn't really much to read, and I hadn't read much. I had read a lot of I had read a lot of fan translations of traditional wuxia novels. In terms of the fantasy, cultivation, xianxia kind of stuff, I read a lot of Stellar Transformations. I did read a little bit of Coiling Dragon and a few other different things, but I didn't read massive amounts. So I never really got to the point where I could say that I burned out on the genre itself or even a specific novel. And in terms of the things that I translated, I did spend a lot of time in those novels, but none of them were really to the point where I burned out. I do have some experience with burnout, more with YouTube, because I use YouTube a lot. I use it to listen to music when I'm working, and I also use it for entertainment. I have 2 kids now, and it's hard for me personally to sit down and watch movies or even TV shows. I usually have little teeny bits of spare time here and there. For the most part, I wake up, take kids to school, come to work, and then go home, dinner, family activities, help my son with homework or whatever it is. And by the time kids are in bed and I'm ready to kind of wind down for the evening, I don't really have too much time, and so I'll maybe read a novel here or watch a video there on YouTube. Recently, I'm going to show you 2 channels that I burned out on YouTube, and I actually recommend both of them. I'm still subscribed to them and I still watch videos, but I got into these channels and I was so interested that I just binge watched tons of their videos to the point where I kind of got the format of the videos and it kind of started getting repetitive to me. And I think that's one of the reasons, probably the main reason, why people end up burning out, is they start figuring out the genre tropes and the patterns, and they start seeing the same thing over and over again, and it just gets kind of boring. That's my suspicion. For those of you who have experienced this kind of burnout, I would love to hear why exactly. Why did you drop the novel or the genre in general? What caused you to lose your interest? But in any case, I have these 2 YouTube channels. One is McDojo Life. This is a great channel. I highly recommend it. It's about, they explore basically fake martial arts and fake martial arts studios. I found it very interesting. Like I said, I binge watched tons of the McDojo Life videos. And then also Martial Arts Journey. Another great channel that I really like. I've specifically been watching a lot of martial arts stuff as my son has started taking classes at a local martial arts gym, and so I just was interested in learning more since I don't have an actual martial arts background. So I've been watching a lot of stuff. Martial Arts Journey, this guy's a former Aikido black belt. Well, I guess he still is an Aikido black belt who kind of branched out into other stuff for a variety of reasons, but I won't go into too much details. But the point is, same here, I watched a lot of videos and then just kind of got burned out when I saw the same stuff over and over again. Let's go back to our favorite novel, Martial God Asura. I don't want to come across as trying to sound like an expert and explain why people experience burnout. I think it's pretty much obvious to everyone. Over the years, I have just noticed so many people. I'm talking from the early days, even when I was translating I Shall Sow the Heavens, I saw comments of people saying they were burned out on the genre and that it ends up getting repetitive. And so I'm curious over the years how people have experienced that. I'm wondering if there are people who have just stuck with it throughout all the years, read thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of chapters and are still interested in it. Or is it that there's a lot of turnover in the genre? Are there new people coming in to keep the novels popular on wuxiaworld, and then old people just kind of going on to other stuff with new people constantly replacing them? Or is it that some people drop it for a while, go off and do other things, then come back and read? I don't know how to answer that question other than asking you guys. I don't have access to any special data that would be able to provide insights. So please let me know your thoughts in the comments. Like, subscribe, share the video, especially this one, because I'm interested in getting as many opinions as possible. That's it for this one. I will see you next time. Gautsula.